Guys, Willie here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing the all-new 2024 Ford Explorer ST.
And a big thanks to Chris and the rest of the management and staff here at AutoNation Ford in Brooksville, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to your inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car, SUV, or truck in the Brooksville, Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out. And as for Chris.
And for those of you guys who don't know, the Explorer started off as Ford's first four-door SUV back in 1991. The 6th generation Explorer that you see here was released in 2020, expected for a refresh next year for 2025, so the 2024 Explorer doesn't see many changes outside of the deletion of the hybrid power plant. The 2024 Explorer is available in 8 trims, starting with the $37,000 base up to the $56,000 Platinum. Here we have the ST, which is the most performance-oriented Explorer, with a $50,000 base price. What else do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So up front, we get full LED headlamps. It's a 4-piece for the high and low beam. LED fog light down below with an LED daytime running strip up top. Turn signal on the side. It says Explorer on the headlight itself. Hopefully you can pick it up on camera. It also says Explorer right here up front. Forward-facing camera underneath the Ford badge, ST in the lower right corner. We have a ton of airflow for the radiator up top, intercooler down below for this twin-turbo 3-liter V6. Full front parking sensing, we mentioned the forward-facing camera. The ST, especially with the high equipment group, is supposed to come with a 360-degree camera, but here we don't have it. I believe we get like a $500 or $600 credit in exchange for it. I like the black headlight housing we get on the ST too. The black rims, 5-lug pattern. These are 21-inch rims. The tires are Pirelli Scorpion Zero all seasons. Dimensions are 275/45 R21. I like the red painted brake caliper, and as you mentioned, 5-lug pattern. A little bit of plastic cladding for the wheel well area connecting and leading out towards the rocker panel side skirt. It's etched Explorer in the lower right corner. Black contrasted mirrors, LED turn signal on them. We get blind spot monitoring on the glass. Hopefully you can pick it up on camera. We get 4-door smart access as well. I mentioned the window sticker. It's going to be really tough to pick up. There you go. Hopefully you guys can pick up the window sticker on this 2024 Explorer ST 4-wheel drive with a forged green metallic exterior, ebony leather trim seats inside. Pause, take a look at all the standard features. $5,900 for the high equipment group. I'll leave a link right here to show you everything that's available. $165 for the cargo management system, $1,695 for the twin panel moonroof, $150 credit for not getting the reverse brake assist, $500 credit for not getting a 360-degree camera. It's a $52,000 base price for a 4-wheel drive Explorer ST after $8,000 in options and a $1,595 destination charge. We're sitting at $61,775. We can shut this door right up. Hopefully you guys can pick up everything on that window sticker. Take a step back. Hopefully you guys can pick up the side profile on this beautiful 2024 Explorer ST. We are getting up there in price, over $60,000, but when considering the main competition of this vehicle, that being like the Acura MDX Type S, costing $15,000 to $20,000 more than we have here with similar equipment and inferior performance. To get similar performance, features, and space, you'd have to go for like a BMW X7, which starts at about $27,000 to $28,000 above the sticker price on this vehicle. After adding some options and features, the BMW X7 will cost $30,000+ over this Explorer ST with similar performance. We get LED taillights. The turn signals and reverse lights are halogen, but the LED taillight does look super premium. ST in the lower right trunk lid area, Ford in the center, Explorer underneath it blacked out. Full rear parking sensing, tow hitch. I'll leave a link right here, show you exactly how much this Explorer ST can tow. Quad exhaust tips, and speaking of the exhaust tips, let's fire up this 3-liter twin-turbo V6 engine, and here she sounds. Alright guys, that was the sound of the 3-liter twin-turbo V6 sold by Ford for the 2024 Explorer ST. And it sounds alright, making a really healthy amount of power at 400 horsepower, 415 pound-feet of torque, made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive. You can expect 0 to 60 in the low to mid 5-second range. I believe Car and Driver tested it at 5.2, making it a no-joke performer, quicker than both the MDX Type S and the BMW X7 while costing less than both. What you see is basically what we get. We get the strut tower brace. No hydraulic struts, unfortunately, so I'm using my arm as a prop rod. That's about it. We can shut this hood right down, take a step back, walk around this 2024 beautiful forged green metallic Explorer ST. And let's take a step inside and see what we get with about a $52,000 base price with all-wheel drive and about $61,000 with a ton of options and features. So up top we get soft touch materials, leather stitching in the center, booming Bang & Olufsen sound system, aluminum door handle, 3-person memory seats, additional speaker up top, and a bass speaker down below. More leather stitching for the armrest, 4-window auto one touch, power folding mirrors, 4-way adjustable mirrors, and a ton of storage down below. We get a Ford Performance nameplate as we step inside, letting you know this is the most performance-oriented Explorer to date. The seats also say ST in the center. They're not the most performance-oriented buckets, but they're a little bit beefed up compared to the regular Explorer seats, but still super comfortable, just like all the other Explorer trims. You get 2-way lumbar control. You can recline, drop, lift, and slide the front seats. But taking a step inside, we can really check it out. So foot on the brake, engine start, stop, and everything fires right to life. First thing we notice, this is a really premium interior, loaded with features. The steering wheel is beefy, fat 10 and 2 bolstering notch, 9 and 3 fits perfect in your hands. We get perforated leather for the 9 and 3, flat bottom, it says ST on it. Big thumbs up to Ford for this performance-oriented wheel. And the steering itself feels really tight, well-weighted, and on center. Paddle shifters for the 10-speed, radar cruise control, active steering and lane keep assist with the adjustments for the cruise control right next to it, volume and skip on the opposite side, voice commands, and the adjustments for the infotainment. It's a 12-inch infotainment display with a 10.1-inch vertical laid out touchscreen. You can see the fuel economy, tire pressure, trip A, and we can press the menu button to see everything that we have. You can select the screens, audio, navigation, phone, and the display setup. My personal favorite to look at all times would be the fuel economy, so we'll leave it there. In the center we have a digital speedo with an artificial analog digitally illuminated speedo outside of it. Traffic sign recognition, mileage, and the fuel level to the lower right corner, temperature outside, and attack to the left. Awesome. The dashboard is soft touch. To the left of the steering wheel, we have our fog lights, trunk release, interior brightness, and our auto headlamps. The stocks have a very satisfying click. Auto headlamps, as we mentioned, and auto rain sensing wipers. Power tilt and telescoping steering wheel with the high equipment group. We have a fuse box and a latch for your hood in the lower right corner. Not quite sure if you can pick it up on camera, and hopefully you can pick up the pedals. I wish we had aluminum outline pedals on the ST, at least for the ST high equipment group, but they're still functional. We get our air vents in the center, engine start stop with some faux carbon outside of it. The touchscreen, as you mentioned, is 10.1 inches. Unbelievable response. It's a Sync 3 system, not the new Sync 4, but I can't complain. You get navigation, of course, the home screen. You can see your nav, phone information, and the song that's currently playing down below. Audio, we can turn the sound down so we're not hit with copyright. Phone, navigation, apps, we get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Overall settings, you can see all of the potential adjustments. My personal favorite screen would be the nav. Down below, volume and skip control, some shortcuts in the center, and tune on the right side. You can turn off your parking sensing and hazards. Heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, and all the adjustments for the climate control in the center. This little cover has some faux aluminum trim. To open it up, you just press it. USB A and C port with some solid storage in there, 12 volt right next to it. The materials for your knee will often hit just hard plastic, but at the end of the day, this is still a relatively bargain 3-row performance SUV, so you can't expect the gushiest and softest materials everywhere. We have our gear selector for the 10-speed auto. The backup camera has a really high resolution with guidance lines and trajectory, front and rear parking sensing. Unfortunately, no 360. One reason I don't particularly love the vertical large screens is because you lose a lot of the backup camera. With the horizontal screen, you can set it up in a way where that the entire screen is being used, but with the vertical display, you can only really use about half of it. Throwing right back into park, we return back to the map. Manual shift controls to activate the paddle shifters, electronic parking brake with brake hold, auto engine start stop. You can turn off the traction control with hill descent control. Drive mode select, we get normal, slippery, trail, deep snow and sand. We also get eco mode, sport mode with tow haul. We'll start the review off in normal, try out sport, maybe try out eco as well. But other than that, that's about it for the center display. Nice area for a phone or a wallet, 2 cup holders. You'll fit 24-ounce bottles. Wireless phone charger, hopefully you can pick it up on camera. Gushy soft armrest, the white contrast stitching. The storage space is solid. You'll fit 5, maybe 6 1-liter bottles of soda. You can probably squeeze a 2-liter in there too. Nice depth large amount of space, more of that faux carbon trim. Soft touch material continues for the dashboard, hard plastic outside the glove box. It's damp though, not lined and felt. You'll fit 20, maybe 25 license plates. Should easily fit a pair of shoes. We get an auto-dimming rear view mirror. It's not frameless, but doesn't really need to be. 3 garage home link settings. The interior lights are LED. We can open up this panoramic moonroof. The shade opens up decently quickly. Remember, this is a $1,700 option, so if you prefer the little bit of extra headroom for the backseat passengers, not necessarily a necessary feature, but it's still a pretty nice feature to have at that. The glass goes underneath the second panel, so it's not just sticking out like a sore thumb. We'll see if it goes out any further. It does. So well into the second row. Beautiful day today in Brooksville, Florida. We can poke our way out of here. Sunny and 76 degrees according to this 2024 Explorer ST. We'll shut this glass right up. We'll leave the shade open so when we hop out back, you guys can see how much light is brought into the cabin. But that's about it, at least for the front seat of this 2024 Ford Explorer ST. Let's hop out back, see how much space is offered back there, as well as the overall quality of the materials. We didn't check. Let's see if we get dual pane windows. We do get dual pane windows on the ST. Also a nice premium touch. Out back, up top, we still get the soft touch materials, sunshades for the rear passengers, aluminum door handle, 2 Bang & Olufsen speakers on the door panel with some gushy leather in the center and for the armrest. Don't get a storage compartment up top, just the grab handle, but we get a very solid amount of storage down below. You'll fit a 6-inch sub with a big gulp right next to it. Taking a step inside the rear seats, the shape is a little bit funky, but they're functional, nice and comfortable, and adjustable. You can recline them and you can slide them back and forth with a separate armrest for each passenger. But taking a step back here, I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall sitting behind my seat settings, and I have about a foot of knee room. Even with the moonroof, I still have about an inch of headroom. So if you're under 6'4", 6'5", you'll sit back here with no problem. I can slide my butt forward a little bit, compromise a couple inches of knee room, and now I have 3-4 inches of headroom. We have a separate third zone climate back here too, with air vents that blow literally directly into your face. Perfect location. You can slide the seats back and forth. This is the furthest back the seat could be slid. We have map pockets behind both of the front seats, USB-C ports, AC outlet, 150 watt. Awesome. We mentioned the armrest is large. It is very wide. You can easily fit a full-size arm with that armrest, with a ton of light brought into the cabin thanks to this large panoramic moonroof. We get hooks for both of the rear passengers. The interior lights are LED. That's about it though, guys, for the second row seat. Let's hop out into the third row, see how much space is offered back there. Check out the trunk and then take this car out for a drive. So the amount of space in the third row is way larger compared to my dad's 2018 Explorer Platinum that he used to drive. You still have plenty of room for the second row passengers and at least 2 inches for the third row passengers. Since the moonroof doesn't continue back here, I have like 2.5, 3 inches of headroom. So you can fit a 6'4", 6'5" passenger in the third row of Ford Explorer. That is not something you were able to do up until this all new 6th generation. The materials back here unfortunately are just hard plastic, but to be expected. You get a pretty nice viewing area out of a decently sized window. A little bit of storage on the opposite armrest with a cup holder too. We also get an additional light back here with 2 air vents that blow directly into the third row passenger's face. That's about it though, guys, for the third row of this 2024 Explorer. Ton of space. Not the best quality for the materials, but considering the space back here, this is one of the best luxury performance family SUVs per dollar on the road today, and I can't wait to take it out for a drive. With the third row up, let's take a quick look at this cargo space. We'll put the third row down too and just see what we got. So right here's the button to open up your electrically opening liftgate, tailgate, trunk, whatever you like to call it. And behind the third row, even though the third row is very spacious, the space behind the third row is also really impressive. The secret storage, let's take a look. Also very solid. You'll fit a couple backpacks down here with some openings for grocery bags, so they're not just going to be flying around. And we have an Explorer little etch for this secret storage area. Cool. Some hooks for tie downs, additional subwoofer for the Bang & Olufsen sound system. Third row seats fall down electronically. To drop to the left one, you just press the L and it falls right down. You can press the R and it also falls right down, or you can press the L plus R and they both fall down at the same time. The second row seats can only fall manually, but really not a big deal. As you guys can see, ton of cargo space and a low floor. At 6 feet tall, my knee is only a couple inches below the step-in, so if you have older or smaller pets, they shouldn't have the toughest time hopping back here. I'll leave a link, show you exactly how much cargo space is back here with a third row up, third row down, and with a second row down, but it looks really spacious. There are 2 buttons to shut the trunk. This button shuts the trunk, this button shuts it and locks the vehicle. We don't need a lock, so we'll press the button on the left, but it doesn't give you any time to get out of the way, so be prepared to get out of the way or you're gonna get doofed in the head by your trunk. That's about it though, guys, for the inside and outside of this beautiful forged green 2024 Ford Explorer ST with the high equipment package. With a $52,000 base price with all-wheel drive, around $50,000 with rear-wheel drive. Obviously, that is up there in price, but considering we have 400 horsepower, 415 pound-feet of torque, more power than an X7, more power than an MDX Type S, while undercutting the cost tremendously and keeping just about all of the features. Let's take this 2024 Explorer ST out for a drive and see what it's got. All right, guys, now we're just about seeing everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the 2024 Explorer ST. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. My first impressions, the steering feels really good. This feels like the kind of steering rack that you would expect from a BMW SUV, maybe even a little bit sharper. The recent BMWs that I've been reviewing this channel, at least the non-M versions, have had some very, very light steering. But taking a step out here, light just turned green. We can try out a little bit of throttle. Ooh, that's a good sound. I'm not sure if it's a genuine noise or artificial, but it sounds really good. That was just in normal mode. Let's try it about half throttle. Woo! Wow, that thing's got a lot of kick to it. It has a good snarl too. Reminds me a little bit of the B58 3-liter 6-cylinder. This is a V6. So it has a little bit more of a mechanical sound to it, whereas the B58 was a straight 6. But I'm hearing some similarities to it. We can try out a real world turning radius. It's really sharp on the gas. Wow. Sheesh. And it's a screamer. For a turbocharged 6-cylinder, it revs high. I think it shifts around like 6,400 RPM, and you can hear it. Throwing it into sport, see what changes up. Second gear, ooh, a little bit more induction noise. Now on the gas. Whew, catching up to traffic really quickly. We can give them a little bit of space. Second gear, on the gas. Wow. Yep, you look down and you are moving. So although it revs to like 63, 6,400 RPM, it really starts to fall on its face after about 55, 5,600. But around 4,000 RPM, it sounds good, it feels good, and it rips. This is a serious performance SUV. I like the way that they left the red line at about 6,400, so you could really hear that V6 get all the way up to that rev range. But as we said, after about 5,500, if you really want to get the best acceleration time, I think a short shift gives you the best overall torque curve. But you can get a tune in the aftermarket, and with the tune, I think it'll open up all of this 3-liter V6's capability. We can throw it into its overdrive gear. In sport mode, it actually limits us to 6th gear at 45 miles per hour. So for that reason, I'd recommend leaving it out of sport mode unless you're just trying to like rip through some turns, show off to your friends, because leaving it in 6th gear at around 50 revs us at about 27, 2,800 RPM. And because of that, it's gonna definitely compromise the fuel economy. But watch this, at 2,500 RPM, half throttle, boost kicks in, and this thing accelerates really quickly. Throwing it in a little bit quicker than we should. The handling is really good. A little bit of understeer, but whew, this is just such a monster of an SUV. We could try out a real world turning radius, really sharp, and we can try one out off the line in sport mode. Throwing it into 1st gear, we'll leave it in regular drive, off the line, on the gas, boost. Yeah, this is a really, really fast SUV. Is it as fast as a BMW X5? I don't think so, but it is as fast as a BMW X7, which is their 3-row SUV competitor with the B58 3-liter engine. And that says a lot, because I have been saying nothing but good things about that engine ever since I've had the privilege of trying one out on the road today. Taking a step out here, we can lean into it about a third of the way. Just an absolute powerhouse. That's in sport mode. We could take it out of sport. We'll try out eco mode and just see what changes up. So in eco mode, everything gets a lot calmer and quieter. We could slow down a little bit and try out about half throttle. Oh, it's still very powerful. But it does get quieter and the throttle does get a little bit less sensitive. But even in eco mode, plenty sensitive in my opinion. For daily driving, I'd recommend leaving it in eco mode. Normal mode is fine. The steering in eco and normal is just about identical. The steering does tighten up in sport, but the transmission limits you out of your top overdrive gear in sport. Just cruising along in eco mode, these dual pane windows, listen. Silent. I don't think this is any louder than MDX Type S interior. I don't think it's any louder than an X7 interior. Like, you really are getting so much value for the money. The tuning capability, the space, the heated and ventilated seats, booming audio system, and it's fast. And don't forget, it's a good looker as well. You can get it with rear-wheel drive, you can get it with all-wheel drive. I'd recommend getting it with all-wheel drive, as I do with most SUVs. But either way, if you're looking for a luxury performance SUV, 3-row SUV between the $50,000 to $60,000 price point, you're looking for X7, MDX Type S level of performance, but you want to spend MDX Tech or BMW X3 with an M Sport package level of prices, this is an unbelievable bargain for the money. It's spacious, you're fitting 6-foot plus passengers in the second and third row, great audio system, great performance, and great looks. If that's what you're looking for, guys, I would definitely recommend checking out the 2024 Ford Explorer ST. And a big thanks to Chris and the rest of the management and staff here at AutoNation Ford in Brooksville, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to our inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car, SUV, or truck in the Brooksville area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out and ask for Chris. And a huge thanks to all you guys for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too. It really helps me out the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment. Let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you want to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try getting those videos for you ASAP. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.